Welcome to system of linear equation in two variables. Learning objectives. Determine whether an ordered pair is a solution of a system of linear equations. Solve system of linear equation by graphing. Solve system of linear equations by substitution. Solve systems of linear equations by addition. Select the most efficient method for solving system of linear equations. Identify systems do not have exact one order pair solution. As you know that we have to do now vocabulary. Some concepts and vocabulary you need to search on the internet and in the book to find the meaning of those words. Let's take a quick summary for that lesson. This is just a summary. Comparing solution methods. Method 1 by graphic. We have advantage and disadvantage. The advantage is that you can see the solution. The disadvantage, if the solution do not involve integers or are too large to be seen on the graph, it's impossible to tell exactly what is the solution are. For example, if you try to graph 0.3 for x and 0.75 for y, it's going to be difficult because because it has decimal. So if you have decimal, it's going to be difficult. And sometimes also if it's a large number, large numbers can difficult to graph because the paper limitation is up to certain limit, up to 10, for example, in the vertical line and 10 horizontal line. So to graph something like 1 point like 30 and 50 is going to be difficult. It's going to be outside the range. Okay. The second method is called substitution. Gives exact solution. It is easy to use if the variable is on one side by itself. For example, if I have x equal y plus 5, wow, that's very nice. X is isolated by itself and everything on the right side. The disadvantage, the solution cannot be seen. You cannot see the solution like the graph. Introduces extensive work. There is a lot of work you have to do for substitution, especially with fractions. So if you have fractions, then you have to get rid of the fraction. So there will be multiple steps. With fraction, when no variable has a coefficient of 1 or -1, just like 1/2 and 1/9 for x and y. So in this case, I have to multiply the entire equation by 18 to get rid of the 2 and the 9. The third method is called addition, and sometimes they call it elimination. Another name for it is elimination. The advantage is give exact solution, just like the substitution, and easy to use if a variable has a coefficient of 1 or -1. Same like substitution. Solution cannot be seen. You cannot see it like the graph when you graph. Up to here is clear. So we have three methods: solve system of equation, graphing, substitution, addition. One student's asking me, what do you call it system? I ask him, why you call it company? Company has how many employees? At least how many?
100.
At least how many for the company?
2.
2. So system of equations, at least how many equations you should have?
2.
You can have 2 or more, right? So that's what we call it system. Okay, let's go for graphing using the first method. Okay, I have here the first equation and the second equation. I'll take the first equation. When you take the first equation, you need to get at least 2 points. 2 points. Okay, the first point, which is the easiest one, is to get by using something called x-intercept. And when you use x-intercept, you always put y equal what? 0. So when you substitute y for 0, how much is x is going to be? 3. So what's your point, the first point? 3 and 0. Up to here is clear? If you understand, raise your hand. If you are half and half understand, raise your hand. Okay. Now, I got the first point, which is what? 3 and 0. Now I have to get at least one more point. So I use something called y-intercept. When you have y-intercept, you let x equal what?
0.
In this case, you substitute x for 0 in here, and you get y equal what? Negative 6. Y equal negative 6. So what's your second point? 0 and negative 6. So now you graph these 2 points. Okay. You graph these 2 points. Okay. You put the first point and the second point, and then you draw the line. Clear? Okay. Now we go for the second equation. The second equation, we have what? X plus y equal what? 6. We will follow the same steps. We need, how many points we need? 2 points in order for you to graph it. So we're going to use x-intercept first. And when you use x-intercept, y is equal what? 0. And then you replace 0 by y. And you get x equal how much? 6. So your first point is what? 6 and 0. Second point, we'll apply the same thing. What we're going to do? Y-intercept. Let x what? 0. Substitute this in the second equation. So you get 0 plus y equals 6. So y equal how much? So what's the second point? 0 and 6. Now I'm going to graph this in here. Okay. So your point, this point is what? 6 and 0. 6 and 0. And the second point is what? 0 and 6. Is this clear? And then you connect, yeah, 6 and 0. That's correct. I was testing you. Ha ha ha. Okay. So now we have 2 points, and we connect the 2 points together, and we make the line. Now, where they intersect, that's the question, right? Where they intersect, 4 and 2. So we call this is what? The intersection point. Given that solution, what will be the solution? 4 and 2. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, now we'll go to the second method. What's the second method? By substitution. Okay. So I have the first equation, and I have second equation. Okay. Luckily, you should be happy. Why? Because he said y equal.
Yeah.
So he's telling you to replace y by what? 2x minus 3. So you take the second equation and you replace that by what? 2x minus 3. Now we have to do something called distribution, right? Distribute what?
3 by minus 3.
Exactly. So you distribute the 3. How many times you have to distribute? 2 times. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. And then what do we do next? Combine like terms. Okay. And then after you combine like terms, what do you do? Isolate x. When you isolate x, you get x equal how much? 2. So I get x for 2. Can I substitute 2 for x in the first equation?
Yes.
And you get how much is y? 1. So what's your point of intersection? 2, 1. So the order pair 2 and 1 checks the solution is 2, 1, and the solution set is 2.1. That's the intersection point. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to the last method, which is addition. I have two equations here, equation 1, equation 2. Okay, if you take a look at both of them, if I add them, remember, our aim is to what? Is to find one variable only. Getting only the result of one variable. Okay, so by using which method? By addition. Right. The question comes here. If I add this together, these two equations, can I cancel one variable?
No.
No. So the only way to cancel one variable is multiply the first equation by -4. Why I have to multiply by -4? Because it's the opposite sign. So let's multiply times -4. So -4 times the first one, right? If you multiply -4 times 2, how much you get? -8. -4 times 1, -4. -4 times 10, -40. Now I will add this to equation number 2. So I have equation, and this is equation 2. Add 2 and 3. What happened to -4, +4? What happened?
Eliminate.
They are cancelled. And you get x equal how much? 3. Substitute 3 in any of these two equations, and you get y. How much is y? So your final answer is what? So they intersect in 3 and 4. Is this clear?
Yes.
If you understand, raise your hand. If you are half and half understand, raise your hand. Half and half. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who can come on the board and explain this on the board?
In Arabic,
Any language.
I can in
Please come.
طبعا احنا هدفنا في حل المعادله دي ان نحذف واحد من المتغيرات اللي هي اكس اول. فلو نقصنا المعادلتين من بعض ما راح تنحذف. يعني لو قلنا 3 اكس ناقص 2 اكس بيبقى اكس، 4 واي ناقص واي بيبقى 3 واي، فبيبقى فيه متغيرين. فالحل ان نغير واحده من المعادلات. اخترنا الاولى، لو ضربنا المعادله الاولى في -4، لو ضربنا الواي في -4 بتصير -4 واي اللي هي عكس +4 واي. فكذا نقدر نتخلص من الواي. فضربنا المعادله الاولى كامله ب -4. -4 ضرب 2x -8x، وبعدين -4y، و10 ضرب -4 -40. بكذا قدرنا نخلي هذه -4y وهذه موجب 4y، فبنقدر نتخلص من الواي، لأن -4y زائد 4y يعطينا 0. فبكذا تخلصنا من الواي وبقى الإكس. فحلنا المعادلة طبيعي على الإكس وطلع معنا ناتج الإكس 3.
الله يعطيك العافية.
Yes, one question there. Yes.
لو حطيت بدل -4 -2 بيجي نفس النتيجة صح؟
لا ليش؟ لو حطيت -2 وضربنا -2 في واي كم يعطينا؟
-2 واي بس ال 2 اكس بيروح. صح.
لا بتصير -4 اكس.
صح.
تصير جزئية حقت الواي.
Now, can I ask you a question? If I want to cancel the x,
أي معادلة عشان نطلع واي.
لا هنا احنا نبي نتخلص من الواي.
إيه بس باقي الجزئية اللي عشان نطلع الواي الرابع.
هذه بس.
هذه الجزئية.
اي نعوض الاكس في محل المعادله. صح مثلا نعوض الاكس في هذه المعادله قيمه الاكس اللي هي 3 عشان نطلع الواي. صار 2 ضرب 3 6 زائد واي يساوي 10. نقص من الطرفين يطلع معنا 4. نقص 6 من 10 ويطلع، وكذا طلعنا قيمه الواي والاكس. في احد ما فهم؟
now I have the question here. Ryan likes the challenging questions. Thank you. Can you give him a big hand, please? Ryan is asking, Can I cancel the x instead of the y? What should I multiply the first equation by?
3 over 2.
Negative 2. And then to multiply the second one by 2.
The LCD maybe.
Multiply the first one by what?
Minus 2.
Minus what?
Minus 3.
And multiply the second one by what?
Minus 2.
So when you multiply this time that, what do you get? Minus 6x. And when we multiply this times 3x, what do you get?
Positive 6x.
And when you add them, what happened?
0.
You get 0. So you need to multiply the whole thing times what? Negative 3, and the second equation times 2. If you want to cancel, if you decide to do what? Cancel x. That's the only way to do this, okay? But that's another way to solve it, okay? Now, let's move on to the 3 types we have. A linear system with at least one solution is a consistent system. So which one has one system, one solution?
Why?
First one, they intersect. A system that has no solution with phi as its solution set is a consistent system. Which one? Number 2, no solution because they are parallel. Okay. A linear system with infinite many solutions has dependent equations. Which one will be? Yeah, they are overlapping. Solving inconsistent system by substitution or addition leads to the false statement, such as 0 equal 3. So if you are doing solving by substitution or elimination or addition, the results will not show in a graph. The result will show like this, 0 equal 3. Okay. What about, it doesn't have to be 3. It could be 0 equal 4, right? Any number. But it's the answer is what? The answer is what? False. Now, if you are getting overlapping, the answer would be like 0 equals 0 or 7 equals 7, which is what? False or true?
True.
True. So that's if you are using by substitution or elimination. Is that clear? If you understand, raise your hand. If you do not understand, raise your hand. You do not understand? Okay. Who can explain this to us?
يعني شوف هنا ماذا الحل واحد هذا اللي هو البوينت اللي احنا نبغاه طيب here no solution inconsistent لأنهم دائما parallel دائما infinity many solutions وبعد they are parallel وهنا it's just a straight line with no ending or start so it has no solution.
So when you do substitution and you get the answer is false, that's mean what? There is no solution. Please give him a big hand. He tried. Okay, let's move on. So now we're going to go step by step. So now hopefully you will understand better, okay? But remember, there is always practice for the vocabulary. So please do the practice at home or in the class, whenever you have time. Now let's go step by step, okay? Here he said determine. What's mean determine in Arabic? Decide, tell. If the order pair 5 and -3 is the solution of the system, how many system is giving you? He's giving you 2. So all you have to do is replace x by how much?
No, y by 2.
X by how much? 5. And y by how much? So you go to the first one and replace y by how much? -3, and x by how much? 5. Can you do that? Yes. And then at the ends, you get a result. What is the result here? Negative 3 equal negative 3, because remember, we are trying to see if the left side equal to the right side. Okay, if left side to the right side, that means this point is on that line. This point is on that line. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now we try again for the second equation. Replace x by how much? 5. And y by how much? Minus 3. And see if this is true or false. So replace the x by 5 and the 3 by and the y by negative 3. Is that clear? Now you get negative 7 equal negative 7. Is this true?
Yes.
So if this is check and this one check, means this point is on both lines and it is a solution as well. Is that clear?
Yes.
Move on.
Just a minute.
ما يستخف صار في حال في الطريق.
Move on.
Yes.
Another example, he's giving an equation. First equation, second equation. That's called systems, because we have two. They call it system. So he's asking you to solve by what? By graphing. If you remember, I told you we have to use the first equation and apply x-intercept. If you apply x-intercept, you let y equal what?
0.
So you put y by how much value? 0. So if you put y by 0, you get negative 2 times 0, that gives you 0. So 3x equal what? 6. So x equal how much? 2. What's your first point?
0.
2, 0. That's your first point. Is that clear? I got the first point, but I need another point, because minimum we have to have how many points? 2 points. We'll apply y-intercept. Okay, so y-intercept, let x equal what? 0. Is this a rule? Yes, it's a rule. So you're going to get negative 2y equal 6. So y equal how much? Negative 3. So what's your second point? 0, negative 3. I'm done with the first equation. Now I'm going to go to the second equation. Second equation here, x minus 4y equal negative 8. Okay? So I'm going to apply the same formula for same concept, which finding the x-intercept. You let y equal what? 0. And then we find how much is x, which is in this case how much? Minus 8 and 0. Now we're going to apply the second concept, which is what? Y-intercept. Let x equal what? 0. So you put x equal 0, negative 4, y equal negative 8. So y is going to be how much? 2. So your second point is going to be what? 0 and 2. Is this clear? Now I got 2 points here, 2 points here. All you have to do is graph them. Okay, graph the first one. How much is this point here? Who can tell me? Minus 8 and 0, this point. Okay, what about this point here? 0, 0 and 2. Okay, what about the red points here? Minus 3, 0, and minus 3. And this point, how much? 2, 0. Is this clear? Now, you graph the 4 points, 2 points for each line, and then you connect the 2 points and extend them, and you'll find that they intersect in which point? Where they intersect? Who can tell me where they intersect? 3 and 3. That's your intersection point, this one. Is that clear? Yes. Easy as easy? Please copy this if you have the booklet. Move on. Move on. Now we'll go for substitution. I have 2 equations. Very nice. He gave you the second equation, y equal what? 2x. So all you have to do, replace, substitute 2x for what? For y in the first equation, okay? So I'm going to replace 2x here, and you get 3x equals 6. So x equal how much? 2. Very good. Take the 2 and replace it in the second equation, equation number 2. So how much is y? 4. That's it. Straightforward. Simple and easy. You get 2 and 4 is your solution set. Clear? Move on. Now we're going to go for the third method, which is called what? Addition. So let's start from, I'm going to just remove this and then, so we can do it together, okay? Addition. If I add both of them together, would this help or will not help? No help, right? No help. So in this case, I have to do what?
You need to multiply by the opposite side.
Right. I have to multiply it by the opposite side. So if I multiply the first equation by -2, how much the answer will be? So let's do it together. -2 times 6, -12. -2 times -1, +2. -2 times -5, 10. And then you just rewrite the second equation. And then you add. So how much you get? -8 x. And you cancel the y. Equal what? 10 plus 6, 16. So x is going to equal how much? -2. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Now substitute -2 for x in equation number 2. So every time you see x, replace it with -2. -4, -2, how much?
Positive.
Minus 2y equal what? 6. Now I have to move the y to where?
On its own side.
Right. So let's move the 8 to the other side. 6 minus 8. How much this will give you?
Minus 2.
Minus 2y equal minus 2. That will give you how much?
Y equals 1.
Y equal 1. So I got how much is y. Do I get how much is x?
Yes.
Yes. So what's your final solution?
-7.
Is that clear? I want you to double check just to make sure that the number is correct. Okay, double check to make sure the number is correct. Okay, so we will stop here and then we'll continue after the prayer. Okay.